Hi, everybody, and welcome to a Wednesday afternoon here on Kobold Press. We are so excited to have you. We are back for another Kobold chat where we do what the title says. We hang out and we chat. We chat all things Kobold Press. And this week, we have come out of the Southlands Kickstarter and are getting ready to launch a very, very exciting Into the Southlands campaign. Brought to you by none other than Noir. So I'm very excited. And we have some of the cast, not all of the cast, but the DM and the cast, some of the cast here today to just, I don't know, spill the beans, talk character. I'm not exactly sure even who I'm playing yet, so I might do some like weird character building stuff and just share with you our excitement as we gear up for Sunday. So that's the plan today. If you want to catch more of this kind of thing, hit our YouTube. Over there, you've got a backlog of Kobold chats where we talk with designers. Wolfgang comes on all the time. And if you want to know more about Southlands, the last few of them have been all about it. So you can check that out. And if you did make the Kickstarter, sorry, friends, but I got some other announcements. So, like, don't get sad. It's going to eventually get printed, and then you can just buy yourself a copy. That's basically what Wolfgang told me live in front of everybody last week. He was like, well, just when we print it, you can buy one. I was like, great, Wolfgang, perfect. So you'll be able to get your hands on it eventually. But not only are we kicking off this Into the Southlands game this Sunday, but we're excited to announce another actual play coming to Kobold Press. One that is not set in the Southlands. One, in fact, that is inside the free city of Zobek. So if you're looking for a nice little city campaign, it's going to be coming at you. I'm excited. Rudy Basso, the Don't Spit, the podcast network, is coming in to GM that for us, which is pretty exciting. And he's got a fantastic idea, which actually I think I can spoil. I think I can spoil it because we've started, like, look, we don't have a cast yet. We're looking for cast, but I think we can spoil it. Oh, welcome in, everybody. I'm seeing some hype in chat. We're going to spoil it. It is going to be set in the free city of Zobek, and we are running a restaurant. The Adventurers, it's all about the shenanigans of trying to manage a restaurant inside the free city of Zobek. There'll be lots of beast, I imagine. They're going to have to go hunting for the food and things, so it should be quite a fiasco on all the scales. So be on the lookout. More information's coming about that. It's going to be, it'll be ridiculous and fun, and hopefully a great way to spend your Monday nights. So more on that soon. I was told that in addition to that, oh, and as promised, y'all, this is a perfect segue. I'm wearing my Kobold Press merch. Look at that. Look at that Kobold Press merch. I've been saying for weeks I was going to do it. I'm here. I'm doing it. And you can get some of this right now at like 35% off. I believe teas are like $13 over.
That's so much off.
Right? Boop, boop, doo. So go over and you can, I believe there's a tweet that has all of the information and the link, but you can get yours until Saturday of this week. Get your teas over at TeePublic, where we've got, I believe, Swole Bowl is on sale, which I think is like one of our top teas, so go get your Swole Bowl. It says, do you even lift, bro?
Oh, I love that.
It's so cute. This one has something on the back. I think it says like small but mighty or something like that, because I have the, yeah, I know. So, just go check it out. It's good stuff. Rep Kobold. If we gotta stay at home, we might as well look good doing it, y'all.
I bought so much more clothes during the pandemic than I ever did after. I mean, or before.
I don't even wear the clothes that I buy now. I'm just like, I'm happy to have them.
Just look at them.
When I say I buy clothes, I mean mainly mean t-shirts. I have no pants.
Pants. No one needs pants in a pandemic.
Or I'm positive now that whenever you're streaming, you are pantsless, and I will accept no other answer.
I feel like this is now canon.
Here's my blanket.
You're just proving this theory. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, man. Well, we don't have pants for sale, I don't think.
That's because no one needs pants.
But nobody needs them. So if all you need are t-shirts, guess what, y'all? We got a deal for you.
We're finally achieving the dream of a post-pants society.
So there's a link in chat that'll take you over to our store, so you can check that out, and make sure to check out the tweet as well, which I think has all the details about the sale. And now for the big announcement. I have been told slowly they're giving me what I want, which is that I keep getting to leak information early on the Twitch channel.
Nice.
I keep being like, let me tell him. And they're like, I don't know. Can we tell him yet? And I'm like, I'm going to tell him. They're like, I don't know. So here we are. I'm getting to spill and leak more information to all of you. It's supposed to be announced tomorrow afternoon to like the big giant public. But first, information here on the channel. So Kobold Press is doing a partnership with Shard Tabletop, which is like an online tabletop system, incredible, and we're gonna be joining them in their Kickstarter, I believe, to put our content on their platform, which is pretty exciting. So I don't know, can I spoil? I think I can. Let me see if I can't spoil. I'm gonna spoil some more. I'm gonna spoil all the titles that we're gonna be putting out for this, because it's like 5 or 6 of them, I believe. I'm gonna name this spoiler. Boom. Why? Because I can. Name it spoiler.
Better to ask forgiveness.
It's right. That's this. They knew what they were getting into when they were like, "Come hang out with us." On Twitch. So yeah, we've got So kind of what this means is they're going to be. My understanding is they're going into a Kickstarter. This and each time goals are reached and things like that, more and more companies are going to come on board and add content to this, which is really, really cool. And I dig it. So Kobold is going to be one of those. I'm very excited. Kickstarter content lineup. Look at that. Look at me go. All right. I'm going to cover our faces for just a second. Sorry, y'all. So it looks like we've got the Book of Lairs, Tome of Beasts, Empire of the Ghouls, Underworld Player's Guide, and the Underworld World Lairs that are all going into this, which means a lot of, like, all of our new 5e content is happening for this. So, boom. Check it out. Get your hands on it. Looks like that kicks off January 26th. You heard it here first. We'll talk a lot more about that next week when more things are public and I can spill more beans. Right now, I'm just seeding beans. So you're just going to have to live with a couple beans this week. Next week, though, you can come back.
Bean sampler.
Oh, yeah, it's just a bean sampler. Come back next week. I'll give you a whole handful of beans.
You know, Dot, you play a spy in a campaign that I'm GMing, and so like I know you're aware of information security. I don't know, like you're just like
I know I'm spilling the beans, Trooper. It's goes against
a tea monger, like like you're just we go to you
right information.
Spill the tea.
Yeah, here I am spilling tea. So, that's been your announcements with Dot. Here on Kobold Press. Moving along to why we're actually here. Let's go around and meet this crew. You know some of us. Maybe you don't. It doesn't matter. We're going to tell you who we are. And I'd say tell us who you're playing, but I'm going to be honest. I'm Dot, and I don't know who I'm playing in this campaign, except a little. I think I know my race. So I'm going to pass it over. Actually, we're going to start with Noir. Noir, you're up.
Hey, I'm Noir. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube as The Noir Enigma. You can find me on TikTok and Instagram as Noir Enigma. I GM stuff. I've got a mass game over on Critical Misses called Second City Savior. That's promoted by Magpie, which has been awesome. I also run a game on my very own channel called The Lonely Throne. The finale of our mini campaign is tomorrow. It's in a campaign setting that I have been running for the last 20 years, which makes me realize that I'm an old dude. But we'll have a new campaign based off of the story of the Lonely Throne, and I'll tell you all more about that later. And then, of course, I run Into the Southlands, which I'm terribly excited to get back into. If you watched the campaign before the City of Cats game, you know that we have some established goofy characters that I just can't wait to see how they ruin my plans. I will never forget the shitty Harrison Ford impression. There are moments yes. Oh, Georgia Jonas. So sorry.
That's right. Just totally different. Georgia Jonas, who needs to get his tenure revoked, but peer review is clearly not doing their job.
Oh yeah, you guys full on murdered Georgia Jonas.
I feel like it wasn't murder. I feel like
he died.
Well, they belong in the museum.
sounds like murder.
Whoops.
I just feel like he ran into my knife. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like he ran into my knife 12 times, however many times it happens.
He had it coming.
He had it coming. He did, though. No. Dot, are you mute?
Only for them, not for all of you. I'm sorry, Twitter.
But yeah, I enjoy making stories for people. I enjoy making BBEGs that reflect things that I hate in mainstream media. So I have always had a problem with Indiana Jones just going to other people's culture and taking a shit. So I made a game where you guys got to murder him. So we'll see. We'll see who's next.
Right? Yeah.
It was lovely. I like that.
Kind of. Yeah. Well. Who's our big bag gonna be now? Who is it now? We got rid of Georgia Jonas.
Well, I do have a BBEG in mind. They are attached to a certain felines character. You can't give me a backstory that says I have a whole ass tyrant that is after me and not expecting to do things with it.
Is that
okay? I'm learning.
Okay. So this I'm guessing is Zat then. That's got this is why he wears the many mustaches.
Yes.
We have
like cloak of many fashions, but like mustache of many mustaches.
Yes, because one has to work, right?
They're disguises. They're disguise mustaches.
Yeah.
And if they help disguise, you just put on more. And like if you have like 6 or 7 fake mustaches,
just science.
It's just people will not find you suspicious at all. Like, why is that cat person wearing 18 fake mustaches? Who knows? But they must not be who we think they are.
Wowzer.
So we're going to have a little bit of that to deal with. Again, I am having all of my players do their 5, 4, 3, 2, 1s, which is a GMing tool that I've been using for all my games. It's a really easy way to get your players to want to do a backstory without feeling like they have to write a novel. I know that I've been in games where it's just like, okay, well, I know all this about the character, but putting it on paper would have me like at a computer forever. So this is just getting down to the nitty gritty of it. It's like, give me 3 NPCs, 2 of them have to be favorable, 1 of them has to be like, antagonistic. Give me 2 secrets. 1 is a secret that your character knows, and 1 is a secret that your character doesn't know. And then like number 1 is like, why are they on this adventure? So it's just really short, to the point, and it gives me tools to make my players upset with me.
You're assuming that we don't like being put through the emotional ringer by you, because I don't know about anybody else, but I love it. So that never makes me upset. It just makes me happy. I was like,
I'm a big fan.
We'll take a low empathy, low emotion.
Yeah.
You should see my Second City Savior party. They are not happy with
Wow. Yeah, 2-page backstories. No, thank you. I'm pretty sure I gave you a bullet list. You were like, list 5 things. I was like, okay, do it. Yeah.
I mean, it can be as simple as just like bullet points. Like, okay, here's the NPC that I know and that I like. Here's the NPC that I know and that I like. And here's the NPC that I know, but I hate the guts and they hate my guts. Now, the thing is, if you just give me a name and what they do, the onus is on me to flesh it out.
That's because we love you.
Which I totally love.
Yeah.
But that has been surprising for some folks.
Oh.
Where it's just like, oh, I didn't realize that they could do this, and that. I was like, well, you gave me a name.
Well, now you know.
They don't like you.
Look, I have watched soap operas long enough that if you don't see the body, you can't prove they're dead. And if you don't give a backstory, well, Like, I mean, I'm just saying, like,
Well,
Dear.
or like if
you're
you give
gonna
it back to
have
it's
a
like, hey,
bad
GM,
time.
you know, like, my parents went missing. They're gonna come back. Like, that's just, you know, or like someone said that my parent died. I never saw the body. The parent's coming back. You just like, that's just what it is.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I get a lot of my storytelling from wrestling.
Really?
Wow.
It's
Fair.
just
Well.
like time for a good old fashioned heel turn.
Huh. I don't think I quite knew what I was getting into.
Everything.
Considering
we laugh, but honestly, wrestling has some of the best storytelling I have
true.
ever seen, and I will die on this hill.
I was about to say you
Okay.
and Grant Ellis both. He loves it. He loves it. I mean, I can honestly say I trust you because I had a good time, whether or not it had anything to do with wrestling. I had no idea.
I love that.
I dare you to watch the breaking up of the Shield after watching their run
Oh.
and not cry a little bit.
just a smidge.
Like I was in the room like, Seth Rollins, what are you doing?
Yeah.
All right, anyway.
All right. Well, who else is sitting here with us?
We're still in intros.
Things we learned about noir. GM bases everything off wrestling. And Hanks,
Everything.
Indiana Jones / Georgia Jonas got what was coming to them. I think I'm gonna pass it to B.
Okay. What's up? My name is B. Pronouns they, them. You can find me on Twitter as @B_Zelda. I do a lot. Normally I'm a podcaster. I'm a member of the Broadswords, which is an all-women, non-binary actual play podcast. I'm a streamer. I mean, now you can catch me here. I stream on Q Times, where I play a robot made out of plastic. I stream on Roll20 for their indie showcase, where recently we ran Thirsty Sword Lesbians. And oh heck, I did not recognize how horny the chat and everybody was going to be.
Oh, I was about to say I ran that game a few weeks. No, it was about a month and a half ago. Oh my lord.
You know, I put myself up here. I'm like 50% thirsty. That's where we're going to be. We were like 150.
We
Within
were,
the
we
first
were 11.
first
Like I turned to
NPC
11.
I introduced, the first words are, I want to romance them.
Oh.
No, it's a villain.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I put one NPC and immediately they were like, "How much do we have to donate to make them thirsty?" I was like, "You don't. The game. Everybody's already thirsty."
We're already there.
But yeah, that's a great game. It's a wonderful
So
game.
much fun. So much fun. I
Cool.
can't wait till the Kickstarter. Oh gosh, what is it? I think you can like do like the late backer kit pretty soon. So I go to back it 'cause I
Cool.
didn't do it when it first was available. I do other stuff. What is it that I do? Working on game design. I work with Magpie. I run games for them. Yeah, and it's my birthday today. So after this, I'm gonna eat a bunch of cake.
Yes.
Happy birthday!
You know what? You could eat
You know,
cake
you
live
don't
if
even
you
need
wanted
to wait.
to.
You can just
I was
start
like, you know what?
eating
You could
cake
eat
now.
cake right now if you wanted
Yeah.
to. I'm just saying.
Just eat it with my dog. We'll sit in front of the TV like weirdos.
But see, that sounds wonderful. Just like snuggles, cake, birthday. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday, chat. Let's
Thank
get
you.
some love for B, please, in chat. Actually, wait. Oh, I'm signing to Kobold. I'll have to come in as Little Red Dot. I'll drop you some pride cake. I have a big old helping slice of pride cake. I'll drop for you in chat. So yeah, let's get some love. Nice. Do you know who you think you're gonna play?
A big something big,
Oh.
something big.
Okay.
Either
Okay.
a minotaur or a centaur.
Oh.
One
Okay.
of those big old tough folks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I like 'cause if I'm a horse person, I'm gonna wear booties. I think that's a necessity. And if I'm a minotaur, then I'm gonna have to find a way to decorate my horns and get
Right.
some really good facial piercings, you know?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Minotaur essentials.
I feel so. I'm already sold. I might already be sold. That's very cool. I feel like I learned a few Kobold chats ago a little bit more about like the connection to labyrinths and like how they work as like layers and things, which is really cool. So
I love that.
yeah, it's really neat. It's kind of like the
Minotaur
way
class is fun.
yeah, and it's kind of like the way the Jinn are tied to the desert. Like they have these locations that are like Jinn have to be in the desert.
Yeah.
If they stay in the city for too long, kind of deteriorate in some way. So it's kind of very similar, and I thought that was cool. Like all of these races have kind of an ideal homesteading. I don't know if that's the right word, but it makes me feel all warm and cozy, even though it's definitely a scary monster in a labyrinth.
Right, it's still a labyrinth.
It's
Labyrinths are still not okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, but think about how much space you have for like bookshelves. That's a lot of wall space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
So much shelving.
Yeah, the shelving you could have in a whole labyrinth, and like art.
So much
Oh my god, I'm just visualizing. I would have a whole labyrinth just decked out with
Oh my gosh.
vases, statues, art,
Yes.
and books, and scrolls, and tombs.
See, now I definitely want to visit this labyrinth. This is
And
a
now-
labyrinth I could get lost in.
Yeah. And now I want that labyrinth in a game where you walk in and it's not
God
actually
damn
like,
it,
oh, it's
God.
dark and creepy, but actually it feels quite warm. There's some
Lovely.
nice sort of like carpeting, you know, like
red
like
carpet with
yeah, like one of those
tassels.
kind of like long, thin runner kind of rugs.
Yes.
And like the walls are just full of like art and statue and books, and there'll be some like really cool friezes on top, and like it's just really warm.
Have you played Hades?
I have not yet, but I hear I'm supposed to.
Yes, you should. But like a lot of
Another
that
very
aesthetic-
thirsty game.
Yeah, yeah.
But yes, that aesthetic is like,
Yeah.
oh
When you're
yeah.
walking through these kind of decayed but crumbling hallways, and minus the monsters, it's quite glorious. And also minus the lava. But just like the aesthetic is really nice, and you worry for your life, but you also feel welcome.
Yeah.
Oh, the labyrinth should also have those little, those little tables that are like half tables, right? Like the kind of like a
The
you
little skinny
the
ones?
The wall.
Yeah, up against the wall, and there should be like little bowls of like candy and like maybe little finger foods, like cook like Vienna fingers. So like when you walk into this labyrinth, there's like
and
something
then
really
my
nice.
immediate question is, who changes all that food out? Like
The
who's
Minotaur.
the
The
spends
Minotaur's
all
super
day
into it.
just walking around being like, well, those are no good. Let's put out fresh Vienna sausages for the guests.
Y'all
perishable
are thinking
goods
of a new
often.
HGTV show. Fix up my labyrinth, fix my lair.
Oh,
Move
subscribe to
that
that
to
content.
rest.
labyrinth of layers. I feel it. It's coming. Oh, this is hilarious. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Do you have a class in mind?
Not quite. So there's a couple I've never played.
Oh,
Never played a druid,
Okay.
and I don't think I've ever played a fighter.
Mm.
Okay.
So those two. I don't think I like druids, if I'm being honest. And I know you love them, so I'm sorry.
Hey, it's okay. I am totally fine being the one that loves them.
Okay. So maybe a fighter?
Zat is playing a rogue, and I'm playing a barbarian of sorts.
Yeah.
In
Okay,
case
so we
that
have a good
helps.
front line.
I was supposed to say good. Yeah. So,
Oh no?
Zat wears
I'm kidding.
mustaches. And rolls nat 20s.
That wears mustache.
I think they are very dexterous. Zat's very dexterous.
That's
Uh,
a big combat move,
yeah.
which is brilliant, by the way. Like, let's say you're a rogue and you have like lots of sneak attack damage, and you can like murder people, like murder. What Zat will do is like, you're there in front of the villain. Are you ready to murder? And Zat's like, I have sleight of hand. How about if I just steal all his weapons?
So that he
Out of
can't
his-
hit me. Yeah, that's yes.
Yes,
Precisely.
that is that. That
So
is that.
when you say frontline, really, it's just Trooper's character that's got the like.
Except, well, maybe I might be a little bit. We'll see. Because I need a guardian right now is what I need. I need a guardian.
Well, don't worry, you have a
The
hedgehog friend coming.
previous events of the City of Cats have currently left Trooper's character blind.
Yes. Which might be better in the end, because before then I just refused to rage. So I was a frontline character. It's just that I wasn't gonna rage though.
Yeah.
You can just hit me.
I
Just- you
forgot
can hit
about
me.
that
Like,
minor
what did I
detail. We
walk
clearly did not
into?
tell B that his character was gonna be.
I think I will play a fighter. That seems necessary.
we might need somebody who is a fighter and is okay with fighting and might not go on a rampage and murder everyone.
Yeah, okay.
If they rage. So
Yeah.
yeah. But I think I'm getting better. Like the last time I raged, I didn't murder everyone.
I
Just
should,
some.
I should let you all know that
no.
the last time the Trooper raged, a goddess showed up to pitch perhaps starting a pact with them.
Is that gonna be your patron? What?
I said no.
It doesn't matter because his hard-headed character was like, no.
He curved the goddess.
But now, and please note, when I said no, my character had already hit 0 hit points because I wasn't raging until the very end.
Yeah.
So like I lost a lot of hit points, and then I was like, "You're going to die, and everything will be bad, but you can make a pact with me, and it'll be cool." I was like, "No."
So he woke up. Yeah, he basically woke up with blind. So my character had the sight, a seer sight, which kind of passed over. And now my old lady's like, "My job's done. I'm out.
Bye.
Bye." He's got the seer sight now. I've been doing it for 100 years, y'all.
Yeah.
Pass.
Oh, that's so cool, though.
Yeah. So he was her protector, and then he ended up with the sight because he turned this goddess down.
And so now I need a protector, and we have to find that protector character. It could be you. I don't know.
It could be
It could be you.
a fighter character. I still think I'm gonna maybe go rogue. I mean, not rogue. I'm gonna go ranger.
Kind of walked into a lot, B.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. I'm gonna maybe even trim my wig, so it'll be totally a new thing.
I love it. Fresh look, new you, new hair, new you.
Yeah. It's like that video from Lizzo, right? Where you go in and feeling good as hell. Like just get my whole wig redone.
What I
When
would
you're
give to
introduced
see
to
your
me?
characters in a makeover scene.
Right, though, I want a montage.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
this big burly ass man.
Just like doop, doop.
Just giving you like an intimidating no, and then the yes when you knew that was the right outfit.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, new year, new hair, new barbarian is what Mark says in chat. So
Mustache?
I guess you could say that your new outfit will be all the rage.
Oh my God. You're fired.
I know.
No.
I want you to know that
I'm
hurt me more than it hurt
turning
you.
this bus around.
No, keep going. I want that on a t-shirt. I want that, like all the merch for that one. I'm very excited.
Yes, Noir, if you want to qualify that as a pun, I technically by the definition, it was a pun.
I think it was a pun and it was fun.
Oh.
And yeah, it was just
Everybody from all my other games are now showing up going like, wait, he told a pun? Y'all don't understand how much I hate puns.
You did it to yourself.
I know. It's because I'm a glutton for punishment.
So you're thinking about maybe like a minotaur or a centaur fighter.
Big and beefy.
We're gonna be like
Aesthetic.
Noir said we can be level 11.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
you're
yes,
always be
yeah,
level
level 11, which
So you
is
get
pretty.
to have like a specialization.
I'll be
and
honest, I
everything?
kind of thought about multi-classing, y'all. I've never multi-classed before. I did. Because, okay, so what's really interesting about this race, I gotta get it right.
The Hedgehog Race?
Yeah. I like hedgehog folk. Arena, ERINA is what they're called. Well, there's a lot of really cute things about them, but they have a special rogue subclass that's actually, it's kind of replaces wizard spells with druid spells. So you kind of get this like interesting build, but I don't think my character, at least in my head, is much of a sneaker. They're more of like they're like the hedgehog equivalent of Legolas. Like they like walk on the top of the sand.
On snow. Or
Like I walk on the top of the sand. I'm just a little hedgehog, and this one just happens to burrow instead. But like, somebody who tossed this idea out, Trooper, was it you? I can't remember.
Probably.
Using the quills, like my pointy back is like my all of it is that's yeah. I think that's gonna be my character. So if I do the multi-classing, I think I'll do something where I can take some healing spells. Like I imagine they're kind of like a little bit of a healer on the side, like just a little bit of a specialty, but I haven't decided yet.
So I'm not gonna lie, I have a bias. I don't like rangers. So
challenge accepted.
Uh-oh.
but
love Rangers. I've only ever played one and I love them.
The reason that I don't like rangers, and I will express it here, is because rangers don't really get the benefit of their class unless the GM is willing to put in the time to make them awesome.
Tell me more.
So like it is So I'll bring you in. Like a lot of the Rangers' abilities that are exceptionally dope are really based on survival and travel. Now I'm sure that we've all been in games where the GM is just like, okay, you travel a day, you get where you're going. That just that sentence cuts out a lot of what makes the Ranger special.
Yeah.
And so like I feel like if your players are going to pick a Ranger, then you need to invest in making the world more plentiful. It's like turning on turning on the graphics, and instead of it just like the distance being like little blobs of green and brown, you now have to like fill in the details. Like, okay, if you're going to travel from here to there, it's going to be about 3 days travel, but with your Ranger and their experience, you have to like be able to play into that and still present challenges where yes, you're moving through the terrain faster, but here's what you're missing, or here's what you might bump into by going faster. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that I hate the class so much, it's that I think every time that I've played a Ranger, I felt like I got shortchanged a bit.
Yeah, that's very valid.
Yeah.
So it's just like if you pick a Ranger, I am determined.
Well, hey, look, let me tell you, I appreciate that. I will say a Ranger at higher levels is kind of more interesting. You get some more stuff, and I do know now. I don't think you don't always have to take terrain-based abilities anymore, right? Like there's some changes to the Ranger that kind of like expanded that. So I don't know yet. I am still. I've never played a Ranger.
That's exciting.
So that was also, I was like, I don't think I've ever really played a Ranger, so maybe I'm gonna do something. But if I multi-class, it's definitely gonna be something with magic, so that I can do some possible healing and buffing of our very our party.
I had a monk Ranger that I loved.
Oh,
That was
nice. That's cool. Oh, I didn't even think about making him a little monk. Now that's adorable.
That is adorable.
Adorable.
That is adorable.
Like, a little monk hedgehog. Stop it.
God, I feel like you might have found your calling.
I might just have to go monk. We are gonna be a little fight heavy, y'all. Let's just be real.
I might be an Eldritch fighter, like an Eldritch Knight.
Yeah.
Hey, Ex Granville is saying our arena they rolled up was a monk.
Oh, nice. They do get healing hands as a class spell. That's interesting. That's very.
If you're gonna multi-class, maybe you multi-class Ranger Monk or something. Is that like a good?
That's interesting because I am technically throwing my quills.
Oh.
Yeah. So so you're using your quills like darts.
Yeah, kind of like darts.
A monk weapon.
A monk weapon. Yes, you're right. Maybe I should, and then I could take the feat that allows me to use.
I'm sorry. Every time I imagine your little hedgehog monk fighting in my head, I'm just gonna hear.
But also, my understanding is that Into the Southlands is inspired. It was like a little. What's the word? Easter egg reference to a very super awesome TV show with amazing costuming and really great cinematography and editing called Into the Badlands.
Yes.
And so I feel like then maybe a monk would be appropriate. And also we'd probably travel because, there's a lot of travel in that show.
It's true.
I'm just gonna be honest with you guys right now. I'm taking a lot of inspiration from Indiana Jones, The Mummy.
Okay, I was really hoping you were pulling from the Mummy because if I was Ranger, I was gonna choose the undead because I really just want to kill some undead.
Yeah, I love the Mummy.
Me too. It's one of my favorite. Trooper hates when I say this, but it's one of my guilty pleasure films.
The first one,
it's not a guilty pleasure because it's just a good movie.
The first one.
Thank you, Noir. Thank you. Don't feel guilty about the things you love.
There you go. I love that.
Yeah, I'll say this. Like, my guilty pleasure is The Mummy with Tom Cruise because I think it's a much better movie than people give it credit for.
Really?
Don't feel guilty about it. Just own the things you love.
He should feel guilty about that one.
Calm down.
That's valid there.
I will say this. The Mummy was supposed to be part of the Dark Cinematic Universe.
Yes.
And the reason that I'm sad that it failed so hard is because The Invisible Man was also supposed to be a part of that same universe. And if you have not seen The Invisible Man, you need to.
Okay.
Content warning, domestic
Everything.
abuse.
Sure.
But it does have a cathartic ending.
Oh wait, that's the one with that was the Invisible Man is the one with the woman from Mad Men.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So good how they did that. But anyway, now that I've gotten us completely off track, The Mummy, Into the Badlands, HBO's Rome, and
nice.
Dune are what I'm taking a lot of inspiration from.
You just said the words that make me so happy. Okay. Okay. Yes. The spice.
My name is a killing word.
I was about to say, so when I run that game, don't worry, you want to play? Because that's a coming too. Okay. Nice. Yo, what if I go monksies?
Do that.
What if?
I mean, monks are my favorite class. Okay, monks are in a two-way tie for my favorite class. Monks and paladins. I love them.
Oh, really?
Dearly.
Look at
oh
you.
My God, I love paladins. Paladins basically have a mechanic that says if you crit, somebody's about to have a real bad day.
It's a lot of fun. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And if you multi-class as a paladin monk and you do a stunning smite, somebody's gonna have a real bad day.
Wow. Okay.
Off the DM.
It's the DM will have the bad day. Also, if you're being inspired by Rome, now I'm just like, I just want to be Polly Walker because she was amazing in that. She was just like I really love a good like.
Thanks, Paladin Hulk.
Ooh, thank you, Paladin Hulk.
Thank you, Paladin Hulk.
Like a really good nighttime soap villainess, you know, like your good Alexis. You know, like, and she as Atia was like, I could just watch her being dangerous for days. She was so amazing.
Oh,
okay. So
I'm trying to think of what else I'm like blatantly ripping off a little bit.
Well, okay, so you did tell us, so we're going to have a little bit of a time jump. So if you did happen to catch the prologue, the City of Cats prologue, we're having a time jump, right, Noir? Mm-hmm. How long?
It's going to be about half a month. I figured that's enough time for Trooper's character to acclimate to their new reality in such a way that they can be functional. And I wanted to bump us up to level 11 to kind of represent that, because at the next level, your character will then be able to take the blind fighting style,
right?
Which I think will be very ill. I want it to be a moment.
Yeah, me too.
Right?
I like that. That's cool.
You know, just having the sight is a lot of responsibility, and having your actual sight taken from you, that's not nothing. And so we need to make sure that we honor that by making it so once you establish like this is who I am and this is how I live. We honor that with you getting that feat and just kicking all the ass.
And also just like it takes a while to get your cane skills up, right? And luckily my character's as a glaive fighter, so I have something I can use for that. But it takes those skills it takes a while to actually get cane skills, and so it's I should probably introduce myself.
Yeah, you should tell us who you are.
Got an introduction. I've just felt odd.
I'm Trooper SJP. Woo! And I'll be playing a returning character, and my character has had multiple names in their life. Had an original name which none of you all know, which meant like spear, because they were a guardian, like what their job was to protect people in the tribe, Jinborn. And you know, some things happened. It was a little unfortunate. They were exiled. It had to do with rage. They were exiled, and then their name was changed to Gafiru, which meant hide sin. And so Gafiru was in exile for like 40 years away from their tribe, and had sworn never to rage again. Being sort of cut off from the community. As a Jinborn, being cut off from your community is actually really very serious. It's a very serious thing because of their cosmology. And Dot's former character, the Seer, who my character almost murdered 40 years earlier, accidentally. Well, wasn't really an accident. It was kind of deliberate.
I was supposed to say that was purposeful. Don't
It was
don't
pretty
lie
purposeful.
to them.
No,
Don't
it was
lie
pretty
to them.
purposeful. Yeah, no. Brought Gafiru back to be her guardian, which they were not super excited about, and it was very distressing. And through this whole process, Gafiru had promised themselves not to rage anymore because it didn't work out the last time, and they were just dealing with a lot of shame and separation from community and sort of like loss and sort of disconnection. And didn't really and sort of perceived being brought back as a guardian to the person that they had almost murdered as a punishment, as like I'm just gonna remind you about all the things you did. And in this sort of process, their vision was taken, and they were given the sight instead. But the moment where because they were trying to protect Hasharati, the seer, and they were not raging, and there was a lot of damage coming in, and then Hasharati, the character, dies, feigned death, but my character had no idea that Hasharati could feign death and just thought that they had failed, right? And so then they raged,
Oh my god.
went on a big rampage, and then almost dies. Well, hits zero. And there's this moment where the goddess comes in, and it's important to note that Jinborn don't follow the other gods because they have their own completely separate thing. And the goddess of cats says, okay, well, if you make a pact with me, we'll bring everything back. Everything will be like, it'll be great. Everything will be wonderful if you do this. And my character would have said yes at the beginning of the campaign, at the beginning of Little Foreshot, because they thought they were lost and it wouldn't have mattered if they made a pact with some other god because they're no longer connected to their community at all. So it just doesn't matter. But that the relationship with Hasharati made them think that actually maybe I'm not lost. Maybe I haven't been abandoned, and maybe I can return to community and family. And so they said no to the pact. And they're like, if you don't take this pact, you will die and the entire world will be destroyed. Like, if you don't do this, it'll all be bad. But my character's like, well, but if I actually am not lost, taking this pact will doom me. And so I will not take the pact because I have hope that maybe I can come back to my community.
That's
and then
beautiful.
they get the sight, they lose their sight. And the thing that I think is interesting is
They
find a new path. But I think what's interesting for me is that for many people, losing your sight and all of that would be considered a loss. But for my character, it's a gift. It's something beautiful because it represents that they are been brought back into their jinn and into their community, right? So what for other people might be like, oh, I lost my sight, I lost this, I lost that. For them, it's actually gaining. It's gaining trust, belief, love, community. And so my character will start, right, knowing that my character has to find a new guardian. So because if I'm the seer, I must now have a guardian. And so we have to find who my guardian is, and it'll probably be one of the new PCs. But my character will have to adjust to this new life. But for my character who never allowed themselves joy, love, friendship, which is a lot of self-punishment, right? Is now a lot of guilt.
Clearly.
A lot of guilt and self-punishment, is now trying to figure out how to be a person after 40 years of separation, to be a person who can have friends and have feelings without feeling guilty about it, and come into a space, right? So I'm thinking of this character as coming into a space of learning how to love themselves now and learning how to sort of be. And so I'm very excited about what how this, and then also learning how to interact with their rage, like learning how to, rather than just denying it and being like, well, I just can't deal with that, but learning how to actually sort of incorporate into their life. And I'm really excited about finding the new PCs and having this new campaign where this character now is in a new place. And I'm really excited about seeing how they can become new with new people, right? Like with new people that they can.
Well, and like instead of denying the rage, like finding a balance with it,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Because like part of being a barbarian is that rage. It makes up a portion of, like, I've always thought that rage makes up a portion of what a barbarian is. It's almost a defining thing, and when you deny it, you actually deny a piece of what makes you like who you are as that character. And so it's kind of beautiful to think that like maybe now you'll find a little bit of balance and acceptance with who you are versus trying to deny yourself that thing. So that's such a lovely story.
And so, but the only story just started, right? Like we're now at that moment where like now the story can start, and I'm really excited for this brand new campaign in a new context to figure out what that story will be.
Yeah.
And really, the reason that the gods of the Jinn even heard you out, it's half because you denied another goddess, and then the other half was because you raged. Because in my mind, the gods are saying, you know, if we gave you this thing and you don't use the thing, that is a sign of disrespect.
Or you're cutting yourself off, right?
Right. Yeah. So I mean, you cut yourself off from us. And what this is, what you getting the sight is, it's not them giving you what they want to give you. It's them giving you what you think you need to have. I don't imagine your character ever being able to just accept them going, okay, we're good. I think your character needs to be dragged through the mud a little bit to feel that they've earned it. So
because that's the only way you get through, like, through multiple decades of like shame and guilt. You just don't like, well, okay, well, we're all good now. You like me? Cool. Right. Like there's like you have to come to feel like you deserve it. Weight
behind it.
And,
and so to them, every time you stumble and fall, in your head, you'll be like, this is my penance. And once you get past that, then they might have some work for you. But until then, you gotta eat the dirt.
Right, because the character is I think that right, like that is a character who thinks that things come hard, right? Oh, but I wanted to say, right, that the characters changed their name, right? So they know they will have a new name, Gafiru, right, which is hide sins. Their new name will now be Gafir, which is forgiveness.
That's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
What the heck?
Well, gang, here we are in the last few minutes of today's Kobold Chat.
We came to demolish your fields.
Right. I will also say we do have 2 more players. Marcus will be rejoining us as our adorable floof Zat of the mini mustaches, and we have another new player, Anita, that will be joining us at the table.
Critical miss in chat.
So probably maybe some faces you know from elsewhere, but definitely new here to Kobold. So very excited to launch like a full stream campaign, because like we loved our mini campaign, and chat, I'm glad to hear somebody mention how much they liked the mini campaign kind of setup, which is cool. Like I love it too as a GM. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's like a little trilogy. But yeah, so if you liked that, then obviously you're in for a much bigger treat with all of us, because today's been shenanigans and we're not even playing yet. Today's been shenanigans. We're not even rolling dice. So if you would like to join us for more Southlands, we are going to be bringing in some of the content from the Kickstarter. So for those of you that backed it or want to know more about it and weren't able to back it, we're going to be kind of showing some more of that content off.
I can talk about how useful that content was, like, forever.
I can. Yeah, hey, maybe, don't tempt me. I'll have you back on here. We'll talk about how useful Kobold Chat stuff is for GMs. Don't you tempt me. Don't you tempt me. So we'll have a lot more of that. I'm guessing we're gonna be going out into the desert again, which should be interesting. I love personally the desert setting. I've bragged about this as one of my favorite. Swamp and desert are like the most challenging settings. I always think. Swamp. Oh my god, me too. I love a good swamp setting. I love it. So yeah, there's a lot coming your way, and if you want to catch us, we're kicking off the premiere this Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. GMT. So if you're over across the pond, we got you. We tried not to do it too late. It's only a 2-hour game, so it won't be past midnight. You can turn into a pumpkin afterwards, okay? Come join us because we want you here. We want you to come see it, and it's a brand new kind of updated setting for Kobold that people seem to be really hyped about. So hopefully we can bring some love to that. And then, like I said, we have another one popping in February, so keep an eye out for that schedule as we nail down our cast. That will be GM'd by Rudy Basso. We don't have a catchy name for it yet, but it will be in the free city of Zobek, so a little city setting for everybody. Probably diving mostly into the Tome of Beast 2, which is also a new drop for us, so if you haven't checked it out, and you as a GM just need, Midgard's not all we do, y'all. We got books and books and books of just reference stuff for GMs, which is super handy. Trust me, I've been cracking it open myself, so
Seriously.
it's super handy.
Can I hype something?
Shit, I
You
need
can
an
hype
encounter.
away, hype away.
So this was like one of the things that I was like, oh, I like this. This makes me happy. I was like, oh, this is very exciting. I like little details. And so I'm making this character that's like a barbarian who's going to refuse to rage. And I was like, well, in terms of damage output, that's not a big deal because you only get like +2 damage. So that's not a big deal. The big deal is that you're going to lose the damage reduction. But I was like, okay, well, how am I going to sort of deal with this as a mitigation, right? And I was like, well, conceptually, I like the idea of being like a polearm fighter. Okay, I don't know. But Kobold Press, they have weapon options that you can't get in other systems. So each different weapon has like usually 2 different options. So like with daggers, you have an option to pin someone to the wall, like, or to the ground. So like you can actually, and they'd have to sort of get a like break out, or there's like, or you can do like a fast draw, so you can get like a sneak attack with daggers. Like each weapon has these like different options that are related specifically to the weapons, which give you kind of a different tactical space. And I went with this glaive fighter, and I was torn between glaive and halberd, but glaive lets you do as a reaction, a disarm, a parry, a disarming parry. So if somebody comes to attack you, you can use a reaction roll to try to disarm them, or you can do a trip attack. And so I love the fact that it was like, okay, well, this character is not going to rage, at least until Noir forces me to, which I'm sure is going to happen sooner or later because Noir is excellent. And I was like, okay, but what can I do as a player?
It almost makes him more of a defensive fighter too. Like it's really hard sometimes to find a way to make a character like a defensive fighter instead of an offensive one. You know.
And I was thinking, this is the Guardian, right? And I want this person to have.
Hey, Trooper, which book was that?
Yeah.
Oh, it was. I think it was in the Midgard Player's Guide, I think.
So it's the Player's Guide. Yeah, so there's some expansions. So I believe the entirety of the Player's Guide, actually, in fact, I know the entirety of the Midgard's Player Guide is available on Roll20, y'all. Which means we're going to be using it nice and integrated inside our Roll20 for this game. So you can get it there, but I'll make sure you guys have that PDF too, because there's a lot of great stuff in there for players. Cool. Yes, thank you.
Really quick, Trooper, I also play a barbarian who is a glaive wielder. Oh. And I need that.
You do need it. Oh my gosh. And so in case you want to know, glaives let you do a reaction disarm or a trip attack. Halberds give you the trip attack, and instead of the disarm, because they don't have the little hook, you can do like you can push people back like 5 or 10 feet. It's like, and like it's because it's you can do more than one person if they're like next to each other. It's like
okay.
Because you got the space with your
it's like but of course what's amazing is you get the polearm, my friend. If you get the polearm mastery as a feat, anybody who moves within your 10 feet, you get to do an attack on, right? Like as an attack opportunity because of reach and all that. So you can like push people away, and then when they try to come at you, you attack them.
Need this.
I'm just saying, and they've got multiple options for the different polearms.
That's a great question, Nick. That's a great question, Nick. I'm not. You know what? Show up next week, and I promise to have that answer for you, because I've already spilled some beans about Shard, and I was told I can't spill all the beans. But next week, I'm allowed to spill all the beans. And in fact, I might just have, after all the beans, we might just have somebody on to come talk about Shard. That way, we can get your questions answered in much more like thorough depth than. Because, and honestly, I'll just be making it up, and that's not helping anybody. So
like, just all the love to those weapons feats, because it really lets you really customize your character and make other choices in combat that become really interesting, so that you can be just a little bit different. And I love that. And for me, it helped me make a character who was like, okay, I'm gonna take this one thing off the table for now, but I get to sort of make up for it with this other thing. And it was
by the
really
time
cool.
The campaign is over, I swear to God, your character's gonna be fighting like Zatoichi, and I'm so excited for it.
Yes.
I love it. Well,
and Nick plays it does mix up combat. It mixes up combat, and it makes combat really interesting.
Yeah.
And it really, for me, it like up to the 5e game. For me, just a lot. The experience playing it was just so much.
There's a lot of great stuff. So again, you can get the Midgards Player Handbook, which has a lot of this like additional ways of like expanding your character and making them more unique based on 5e content, as well as the content that Kobold produces. So I know for a fact that one's definitely on Roll20, and then of course you can always get your hard copy over at the store, which I'll drop a link for all of you. But great point. Well, I'm sure we'll see more of that in action, right, Trooper?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us today. For just like, we just kind of, what are they, shot the shit, as my grandfather would say, and played a little bit with our characters, talked about what you might see come Saturday. So you're definitely, or Sunday, you're going to have to show up on Sunday, though, because they're going to be different than what we talked about, because I still can't decide on a class. So here we are, y'all. Here we are. Make sure you tune back in. And if nothing else, you can catch us right back here. Same Kobold time, same Kobold channel. Next week for another Kobold Chats where we'll be talking all the things Kobold. I'm not sure what it'll be, so stay tuned to social media for next week. But I'm really inspired by this idea of... Yeah, I'm really inspired by our ideas today, y'all. Yeah. Noir's promised me a Kobold Chat. That's what I heard. Noir's got a Kobold Chat. He's going to come on and talk about things. Yeah, y'all make my job easy. No, thanks, everybody, for hanging out, and we'll see you this upcoming Sunday for Into the Southlands, the premiere episode of our 8-week, 5-week actual play set in the Southlands. You'll see our faces as well as 2 more, and I guess we'll catch y'all then. Stay kind to each other, everybody, as we make it through the week, because we need you there on Sunday.
Yeah.
Be good, and we'll see you then. Bye, everyone.
Bye.